We tied it to the bars, and I started taking deep breaths, fast, because I knew I would pass out quicker. Now, as you can see,
have you had permission? Have you had the permission from the government?
Right, oh guys, here we are now at HMP Leeds. We're at the back end of the jail, which is E and F wing, I believe. This is E and F wing, which is the new part of the prison, and as you can see, it's all new wall. Right now, people, this is the E and F wing, which is the new parts of the wing, and as you can see, the wall's only there, smack next to these housings here, which are a matter of 150 yards away, if that. And this is where things would come over the wall on a regular basis that weren't coming in through the prison screws. Right, people, this that you see, the old part of the building, the old part behind where you've got the tower thing on the corner, is the end of D wing, which was, in my time, the hospital wing. Right, people, this is where the visitor centre, the jigsaw centre, and this is where all your visitors have to go to book in for your visits. You leave all your stuff in there.
So
now, as you see,
Arthur, wait
see
there.
all these cars.
Wait there, because this guy now, right? Now, as you can see there, we'll just say for purpose of video, yeah, we'll put Arthur's video on hold for a minute. This officer's just phoned through and he's basically saying we're not allowed to.
Right here, this is where the screws come and have their tea breaks. They come in here and you have convicts working in here that make the screws full. The orderlies from here also smuggle the drugs in when screw won't take them in. People, this is the gatehouse where your visitors will walk in, go in through here. They've already left the stuff over there. All they've got on them now is what they can spend in the prison canteen. As you can clearly see, it says no drugs, no violence. Wow, no violence. Somebody should have told 18. Now, we're coming up to the ordering line. In this building here is the visits room. The bottom were remands. The top were convicts. Now I don't know what it is these days, but that's what it was then. Now we're coming up to all this is the old section of the prison. As I said, people are flipping at us. And we're here to do my video today. My first encounter of a prison, 1979.
Oh, can I just, Arthur, can you stop there? Guys, can I just say, right?
Can we do something up here?
This is a quite personal story by Arthur. He's going to be talking about things that might upset some people now, and it's along lines of, you know, suicide. So just give you that warning, guys.
You can see, people, this is the old gatehouse. This is where I first saw Live Free on his video asking what this was. This is the old original gatehouse. To my left is D-Wing, To my right,
Excuse me.
to my right
Excuse me.
is A-wing.
Excuse
Sorry, love,
me.
it's quite rude that he's telling a story. He's right into it.
Excuse me, have you had permission? Have
Well,
you had permission from the governors? Have you had permission? You need permission. You need permission to
Now, as you can see, people,
permission.
as
You
you
need
can see,
permission.
people,
Excuse me, you need permission. You need permission to go along here and film. You need permission.
now as you can see,
Have you had
over the
permission?
wall here,
Have you had the permission from the
over the
governors?
wall here
Have
is
you had
A-wing.
permission from the governors?
From here up
Have
to
you
the
had permission?
tell your story, man.
Yes, I am.
No, tell your story, man. It's fine. He's telling his story, love.
End of A-wing.
Are you the
The
landowner?
end.
Show me.
Sorry, are you the landowner?
I work for the prison and I
Okay.
am under orders from the governor.
Are you trespassing us?
We know this is private land.
Okay, okay, we
Have
have
you
to.
had permission? If you have had permission, have you got the letter of authority? to
No, we
do
don't.
this?
We don't.
We need it.
Okay.
It's private.
Love, I don't want to argue with you. Listen, I know you.
To argue with you.
I know you're doing your job, but listen, he's gonna.
I've just been asked to come out.
I know you have,
and
love.
ask you to go.
That's fair enough.
You're not allowed to film. because
Can we
it's
bring this
private.
down? Can we just bring it down a minute?
This here, love, will leave from other
Right.
end.
Anyway, listen, no, Arthur, get as much as your story. Get it out,
Right,
man.
this
Pour
is
it out.
Hamley Prison, this is A-wing, where I was when I was a kitchen lad. The kitchen is on A1. The end extension were the nonces. Up to that extension were normal remands and kitchen lads below.
1 minute, love. That's
Now,
all. Go on, Arthur.
Go
Quick.
round this way. If we go round this way, so I can point out the appropriate wing with the can leave by far end. B wing is going that way, off end of A wing, where I was starred up at 19-year-old. I was starred up at 19-year-old, which means made into a convict. I worked in the kitchen first and Mr. Green sacked me for pinching sugar. He took me on to B-wing and he told the screw on B-wing I was a bad lad and I should never have a good job. That officer then made me #1 roll board on B2. Now, up on the force was a lad called David Leslie Smith. He changed his name to David Leslie Vendelgado. Now, in my category A cell was the Black Panther. Now, I talked to him every day. He killed Leslie Whittle, he left her in a drain, but he still claims his innocence on that. But at the end of the day, he put noose around her neck. Now what happened was, while he was waiting for ransom, the police officer came to make his notes. And the Panther mistakenly thought that he'd come to arrest him. Now while I was on B-wing, I actually hung myself. I hung myself, and the next thing I knew, the officers had got me down the hospital wing, and I was on the floor and they were still resuscitating me. They put me in a strip cell, which is you've got like a mail bag over here. Nothing else. No clothing, no nothing. Next morning, I went in to see a psychologist and he asked me what it was all about, and I told him all the troubles that I had. I told him I couldn't cope, and he asked me if I thought I'd do it again, and I said no, because I knew it'd mess my jail up. So he then said, the other officer that were working on the landing said, listen, what if I could get you a job down here? And I said, yeah, I'd love one. So he said, you could come down as hospital orderly. Well, that was the end of 79, coming up towards Christmas. And then January 1981, early January 1981, the Yorkshire Ripper was remanded for psychological reports. Now, I've already said on my other video, now as you can see guys, up here is the end of A wing, the well. Now on that well, that's for nonces, 43s. Good day, officer. Now, B wing is off that, which is where they made me the #1 roll board, as I've said. In my A category A cell was the Black Panther. Later on, getting towards the end of the year, coming up to Christmas, I got myself on parcel shelf. I'd made myself a noose. I tied it to bars, big respect to you, sir. I tied it to the bars and I started taking deep breaths, fast, because I knew I would pass out quicker. Well, I must have just got dizzy then and fell off. But next thing I knew, I was down the hospital wing, coming up to Christmas time 1980. I saw the psychologist and he asked me if I'd do it again and all that sort of thing, and I convinced him that I wouldn't. I had to. I hadn't succeeded and they would make my life hell if I didn't.
Why did you do it?
Because I had that many troubles outside and I knew I was going to lose everything again. The police had set me up once again. They constantly set me up. They're doing what they're doing now. They chase me around all over the country. They're trying to get me banned again now. Well, I'll tell you what, it ain't going to happen.
So we all know that all these problems with your neck and stuff like that, Arthur. We've seen your MRIs.
What it is, when I hung myself, what they should have done was cut me down and have me rushed straight to LGI for a full MRI. Then they would have known my neck was broke. But all these years, it's been getting worse and worse. And now the surgeons can't even mend it. They're saying that there's 4 vertebrae in my neck damaged and 2 more above that are dropping to bits. There isn't a dean in the country that can sort it out. It's a matter of when my neck breaks, not if. There's also 3 vertebrae in my back that's damaged as well that they can't mend because the risk of putting me on the table is too great.
What message would you like to give to anybody, right? Because you were obviously in a bad place when you did that, Arthur, and you've lived a life since then. So what message would you give to anybody who feels at that point on shelf?
Talk to somebody. You have to talk to somebody. This is why I'm in such a state now. Because I hung myself in here. They give me an hospital orderly job. And that's where I met the Ripper as well.
So did they give you that job to try and give you some kind of peace of mind to help you?
What they did is, a screw felt sorry for me, one of the hospital screws. And he said to me, if I could get you a job down here as an orderly, would you be all right? I said, honest to God, boss, that'd be brilliant. So he gave me a job from that day. And that's when, January 1981, the Yorkshire Ripper was remanded for psychological reports. Now, when they're remanded for psychological reports, good day, officers. Have a good day.
See, it's all right. They're rude. They don't like people like us, but go on. It's all right.
When they're remanded for psychological reports, there's actually a nurse. And it's a psychological nurse, and he has a table on the landing with a book on it. And he's supposed to write at particular times of day exactly what each prisoner is doing. So he has to spy on them for a set time through the spy hole and write down exactly in the book what's happening, what he's doing. But the screw didn't do that. I wrote down in the book what was happening, and the screw came along and docketed it. Because he was sat in the office, supping cans with his mate. Then that book was took into psychologist at end of week, who looked at it and said, yes, 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 yes. Put him on this medication and put him on that medication. And that is because all schizophrenics have set patterns of behaviour that cannot be mimicked. So even if they're drugged up, i.e. sleepers and stuff, they will still wake up like robots. And that's what they do. They take them back into the end. So that psychologist is making his decisions on what he believes to be his nurse's word. But it isn't. It's a convict. That's what makes their cases unsafe, including the rippers.
So you're basically the psychologist that were writing everything down and they just signed it off?
Yes. Now I'll bet if you don't need my handwriting. All you need is January 1981's book. And in that book, the screw signature will be on it.
Can anybody help,
and
guys?
And then you test that signature, there you go, another police car.
Can anybody help Arthur, right? So what Arthur's looking to do, right, is he knows that in them books that were writing the daily reports on the Yorkshire Ripper.
You see, the
right?
screw
Arthur were writing
signature
them.
will be on. The screw
that will be
signature
Arthur's
is on.
handwriting.
But the handwriting describing what the convict were doing is not. It is the inmates. Me.
Where would somebody find those kind of reports? Do you know
Well,
what I
it'll
mean?
be in the prison records.
Surely.
But I'll bet when they say, can we have a look at that book from January 1981, we want to test the officer's signature against the comment, and I'll bet it don't match. Now they will say, we've lost it.
Going back to Ripper, Arthur, and if that's the case, and say like they convicted him on the strength of those books, right? Would that not fucking obviously?
It makes his case and everybody else's that were remanded round them times unsafe. It is a point of law, and that's why the police are trying to shut me down.
And is that why you've never said anything about it up until he died?
Yes. Yes.
Why is that?
Because he was an animal. He was an animal. He didn't deserve to get out because of what I was saying.
And Arthur, do you remember?
But I should be here, me! Were in there as well. And they had him shackled to the bed.
Live Nation, is it live?
Arthur Taylor, YouTube.
Live free all day, baby.
This morning.
Do you like it? Yeah.
Subscribe.
Get subscribed, man. You'll be on there later.
Now, as you saw there, now what it is, it makes their cases unsafe. So they don't want my story coming out. So this is why they're doing it. We've got an officer here distracting me.
Don't worry, we're just doing our thing. We're doing our job and they're doing their job. It's fine, everything's civil here.
Now, when I hung myself, I'd like to say that they should have sent me for an MRI. They're responsible for my broken neck and all damage I've got. I'm out here doing these videos because I need to tell my story, i.e. the one I've just told today.
Arthur, do you have a message for anybody, like I said, who's sitting on corner shelf, who's thinking of suicide and stuff like that? Have you got a message for them?
Wet your pad, mate.
Have you already done that part?
Wet your pad, mate, up and have a spliff, mate.
You did
Forget
that part. You said talk, didn't you? Talk to somebody.
You've got to talk.
Find somebody.
All my life, it's in me not to talk. You don't talk. There's nobody can say I've given their name in because I can't remember names. I remember first names and nicknames, but I don't remember second names because details like that put you away.
So people like me and you are wary when somebody's saying full details.
Correct,
Christopher Galone.
Free, correct.
Yeah, okay.
Now, as you can see, this bit here is even new wall. This is extension to wall as well. And this officer's here pretending he don't even know we're here.
Arthur,
but he's illegally parked.
Let's concentrate. Arthur, do you know what
These.
Yep.
These and these here are known as ankle breakers.
Yep.
This wall, this top grill thing, that's designed to collapse.
It's very brittle, that.
Yes, it's designed to collapse.
And these are designed to break your ankles should
yes,
you be able
they're called ankle breakers. That's, well, Matt Vicker, when he came over the wall, his mates fell. Have a good day, officer.
God bless
Thank
you,
you
mate.
for the nod anyway, officer. I watch for the tilts, same as you. Now there you go, the officer couldn't send out, but he has parked illegal. Look at that. There's one law for us and one law for them.
Right, listen, Arthur. Do it.
Right. I'd just like to say a big massive thank you for you guys. And as you can see, the police are here.
Oh, they brought a van as well.
And they're coming forth today, boys.
Just do your bit, Arth.
Now, the police are here in force. I'd like to thank all you guys for your support and your touching comments. And thank you everybody who followed me for your support.
You alright, guys?
How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
It's
Yeah.
Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Chris Malone.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. I thought I recognised you. It's Arthur Taylor. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you mind me asking what you guys are up to today?
He's just he's telling a story. So he went through a lot. He was in there in 1971 with Ripper.
In Arthur?
Yeah, yeah.
What this gentleman was?
Yeah, do you want the quick story?
Yeah, go
quick
for it.
lowdown, right? So he had a suicide attempt at HMP Leeds.
Chris, just to interrupt, do you know what these guys do?
I don't know him, no.
Okay. Well, no, it's just because they're...
I think they're fans of my channel.
Are they?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough.
They just put big thumbs up and stuff like that.
Because you
But-
are right in saying you live in Army, don't you?
No. Farnley.
Fine.
Family. Yeah. So guys, quick story of that is Arthur tried killing himself, right? And he got sent to hospital wing. In the hospital wing, Ripper were there awaiting psychiatric reports, right? And back then, what Arthur were doing, because he were hospital orderlies, he were writing down what the Ripper were doing, and the psychiatrist would sign it at the end of the day. Right, so them reports that went to Ripper case were written by him. Right, so basically what we're doing today is he's just telling the story when he actually killed himself in there, and we're asking for help off of our subscribers of how we'd be able to go about actually getting copies of those reports. He didn't want to say anything about it until Ripper died.
So, firstly, thank you for explaining that.
Yeah,
The issue we've got, and I'm not going to try and educate you or anything like
yeah.
that. I understand obviously you're filming what you can see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and go, that is,
Yeah.
I'm not going to achieve it. And also, you are entitled to it.
Well, we've learned a lot. Our channel's grown.
I take down that.
We try to avoid the confrontation as much now.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's confrontation.
Yeah. But they're quite civil with us in there. Yeah, they were quite civil.
The reason we've got... So, why exactly are you out right now is the question.
Pardon?
Why? So,
It's work.
is it work?
It is work.
That's fine. It's not a trick question. We're just
No, it is work. It genuinely is work. I
You
mean,
make money out of YouTube, is that what
yeah, we're
gets out?
yeah, literally. But
But Arthur doesn't live around it, does he?
Arthur lives in South Hemsel.
Okay, so the issue we've got is he shouldn't be here.
Okay, not even for work, because he's on the same. He's employed by me, kind of thing. You see?
Ultimately, the thing is, you're supposed to stay within the area
Yeah.
you live.
Okay, yeah.
It's essential travel only.
Well, I will
And-
word him up on that. No, I will word him up on that.
No, I'm not going to...
We are trying to take it serious. Do you know what I mean? But like, it is my only source of income. Yeah.
The issue we've got, obviously, ultimately, we want to go back to the lives we used to live.
I can't wait. It's been horrible, hasn't it? It's been over a year now.
We all do. I want to go
Yeah.
back to the cinema, go back to
Yeah.
the
We got it. Yeah.
And the issue we've got is, we need to try and stop it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit there and say, X amount of people died.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Oh, he's down that corner. He has got a lot of problems, Arthur, as well. But listen, he's a genuine guy. He's a bit fiery. Do you know what I mean? But he's really passionate to get his story out. When he started telling me his story, I said, listen, you need to get it on YouTube. People need to hear it. Do you know what I mean? It's we often get confrontation. I don't know if you've seen the channel.
I have.
Have you seen it? Yeah.
No, I understand.
Thumbs down or thumbs up?
Some videos, thumbs up, some videos.
Can I just ask you a question though? If you wouldn't, like, I work for a pharmacy, and coronavirus and that ended that, right? And all they were doing is signing people up, right, for delivery on repeat prescriptions. And because coronavirus ended that, and I started doing this, right? Now I working my arse off for £1 a month, right? If that happened to you when you were doing the same, would you quit or would you?
It's a hypothetical situation.
I've got 4 kids now.
Say, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
The issue with Narrator is ultimately, I understand this is your job.
Yeah.
This is not. Have you got a press pass or anything like that?
It's not as such,
The
no.
issue you've got is, I understand you've got money of it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be out as you.
It's essential. Yeah, I'd say so. We actually thought we were allowed to do this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I can absolutely appreciate why you've
Yeah.
you've come here and stuff like that. But in terms of the story and stuff, absolutely appreciate it. But in terms of being here and stuff, you wouldn't necessarily need to be here to give the story. I appreciate the backdrop was perfect for it. And then
I beg to differ because we've like experimented, because I'd love to do that, what you've just said. I would absolutely love to. I've tried it. Set up like a little studio kind of thing. Live audience, it just didn't seem to work. In the same respect, when you're out in public and you're doing your videos, you get paid for the views, not the subscribers.
and
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very strange time at the minute. Do you
no, I know what you're saying.
And it's essential. We're really strict.
I know what you're saying. What kind of documents would I need that would enable me to? Because obviously, with it's going to be registered as a business.
It
You know
is.
what I mean?
Is
Yeah,
it not
yeah.
yet?
Not as such, no. But with it coming up to April,
I think you'll need some sort of like press pass or something just to prove
it's just
that.
when I looked on government website, it said that if you're working and stuff like that. So like,
It's a difficult one. As I've said, like we're trying to advise you.
yeah,
We're
no,
used to getting
I'll take your
involved.
advice.
No,
I will.
absolutely.
I'll take your advice, and
I
I'll.
appreciate you offering around here, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, coming from Southend or Wakefield, where you
Yeah.
it is
I'll word
fine,
him
it
up.
is difficult. Just let him know
Yeah.
if you don't want him to obviously.
I will
get
word
into
him up,
minds
I
and
will.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. But thanks for respecting us, though.
Absolutely.
You've been proper decent with me there, so thanks for that. I appreciate it.
I appreciate the fact he's been through a very
I'll word him
hard
up.
time and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He wanted to do this, but it's a very strange time. Mate.
This is
I
his,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
I know what you're saying, mate. Right, I'll have a chat with him, tell him to score, that it is an issue crossing borders. We didn't think it was. And we pretty much packed up for the day. We'll get ourselves home, alright?
Absolutely.
God bless you, mate.
Good luck.
Thanks for your time, alright? Cheers.
Thank you very much, mate.
Right, guys, I've had to be a bit like that. We are in lockdown. This is Arthur's video anyway, what we're doing, but anyway, I've had to be a bit like that, right? Like say, Arthur's cross borders, so now what it is, there's 4 coppers behind, so before they drum up any kind of fucking nonsense, we need to get into this Starbucks, because they come running behind, don't they? Like, come back, and then there's a fucking charge there, or fine, or whatever, or blah blah blah. Let me get across here, and we're going to Starbucks. Half we shot off, right, because we were trying to fucking find you for crossing borders. Come on, let's go in. What are they trying to do, Arthur? Find you, man, for crossing borders, for telling your little story, the bastards. Come on. Right, guys, without you want to say peace out, Arthur?
Peace out.
Join you on the next one.
Join me on the next one, guys. Thank you very much. Respect.